Unless you've been living under a rock, then you probably already know that this year's Nordstrom Anniversary Sale has now kicked off. I'm personally not a Nordstrom card holder, however I have done a little bit of a browse of the website just because I feel like it is such a fantastic sale and one to always check out every single year. If you aren't familiar with it, essentially what happens is new season stock is released and it is discounted at 40% off. So if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, it is an amazing opportunity to pick up autumn winter clothing at a heavily discounted price, and a lot of the items that are included are really good staple basics. So I've kind of earmarked a few things that I would potentially like to purchase when the sale opens to the public this Friday the 19th of July. But what I want to do today was share with you some of my top picks from across the sale. I have done a whole blog post which kind of details everything about the sale, my sales shopping strategy, and all of my favorite finds across a whole bunch of different categories, and I'm going to link that down in the description box below, and all of the items that I mentioned will be linked down there as well. So with that all being said, I just want to dive into it with my first favorite find, which is from Halogen, and it is a wool and cashmere mock neck sweater. I personally live in cozy sweaters like this all winter long. It's kind of a huge part of my style uniform, and I think that they can be dressed up or dressed down depending on whether you want to make them office appropriate or work for the weekend. I love the fact that this one is made from 100% natural fibers, which is one of those things I really look for in my knitwear. I just think it's a lot more comfortable, it tends to wear better, it keeps you a lot warmer, and they just are much higher quality than the synthetic counterparts. This one comes in a white and a cream, and I love the fact that it's got a little bit of a pattern to it. Just thought it was really special and a really good price, so you're getting great value for money with this one. Continuing with tops, I spotted a really beautiful blouse from Theory. I personally love Theory. It's a brand that I have been kind of watching since I was in my early 20s, and this kind of top just really stood out to me. I love the black and white graphic floral print all over it. I just thought that that was really beautiful. It's such a divine piece, and it would make a really perfect workwear addition, but I think you could also dress it down with a nice pair of high-waisted skinny jeans or with a denim skirt or something like that. And it's one of those ones that you could wear from the start of autumn all the way through winter, depending on how you layer it up. So you could put a white polo top or something like that underneath. This is one of the pieces that I'm currently eyeing up for my own wardrobe just because I think it is so stunning. It's just such a beautiful piece. The next piece is from Madewell, and it's actually an item I have in my own wardrobe. It's their courier shirt. Now I actually have this in the white, and it's one of my favorite tops in my wardrobe. I've mentioned this so many times in many of my videos. It's one of those pieces that pops up every single year in my spring summer content just because it's something I reach for a lot. I spotted it in the sale, and it is in a navy and white window pane check, so it's a little bit darker, and I think that makes it a bit more appropriate for the colder months, and I feel like it would be a great piece as you're transitioning from summer into autumn, especially if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, or a good one if you live in the Southern Hemisphere. Maybe you want to purchase it when public access opens and wearing it for the transition from winter to spring. My next favorite is a great basic from J. Crew. I personally love J. Crew. I feel like it's a really good brand if you're sort of in your late 20s or in your 30s or 40s. I think they do really good workwear and some really great staple pieces, and they have a really lovely oversized red and striped top. The red and white stripe was the one that really caught my eye, but there's also a really nice classic navy and white stripe, and also a white and yellow stripe too if you want a little bit more color. I'm personally actually eyeing up that red and white stripe one for my own wardrobe just because I've been looking for something like that. I kind of love that nod to this sort of French style, and it's sort of something that I like injecting in my own wardrobe. Next we have the All Saints Balfoon leather jacket. Now this is actually a piece I have in my own wardrobe, and I was so surprised to see it in the Nordstrom sale. I don't think I've seen it in previous years. I only saw it in blush and in a pale blue, which I thought was really pretty and quite sort of feminine shades. I don't know if they had the black one in the sale, but I did want to mention it because the quality is sensational. It is one of my favorite investments from 2018. I've got it in the black, which is obviously I guess a more classic choice, but if you do prefer color, then I think the pink and the blue ones are quite nice options. I personally really like the pink because I think it's a bit of a neutral, and it's a color that I find works really well with other sort of basic hues that I've got in my own closet. In terms of sizing, I did just want to mention this. I've got it in a UK 8, which is my true size, and I'll show you a cutaway of how this fits on me, but it is more of a snug fit. It will relax about half size after you've kind of worn it in a bit, but I think if you want to wear really bulky sweaters underneath, then you definitely want to size up. So for me, that would mean getting a UK 10. So for this, like, I don't really think I could fit this jacket over the sweater I'm wearing right now, but I could fit it over a lighter weight cashmere sweater if that helps. So I did just want to mention this one because I think it is such a good price in the sale. Otherwise you can wait until Black Friday and get a classic black one from the All Saints website because they will be selling it probably about 30% off if they do the same discount that they did last year. Now I feel like I've got a bit of an unhealthy obsession when it comes to check blazers, and I spotted another one that I absolutely love as part of this year's sale. It's from Free People and it's in a really lovely light grey coloured check. I've actually been kind of eyeing this one up for my own wardrobe, and I think it's great to see that the check blazer trend is still sticking around because I think it's an ultimate classic and it is a really great way of jazzing up your outfit as well, and a really good layering piece during the transitional months. The next item is probably my favorite piece from the entire sale. I absolutely adore it and am seriously contemplating adding these to my own wardrobe. They are a little bit more on the pricey end of the spectrum. They're a pair of trousers from Max Mara in a really beautiful blush color, and they're made from a wool linen silk mix. So I think that makes them really great as an option for trousers that you can wear almost year round. Obviously I wouldn't be able to wear them in the height of summer here in Sydney, but I do feel like they would be a really good alternative just to, you know, your classic black. I've got a pair of stone colored trousers and I've been loving wearing those, and this pair kind of tick all the boxes for me. They're high-waisted, they have a bit of volume around the hips, which I'm pear-shaped, so I find that perfect for me, and they're also more of a tapered cropped length, so really good if you want to kind of make your legs appear longer. I know this isn't for everyone, but for someone like me who does have shorter legs in comparison to the length of their torso, I find that this is just a winner for me when it comes to trying to balance out my proportions and also make my legs look longer. So they're a total win, a bit more of a splurge obviously, but I think that they would be such a classic piece you'd be able to wear for years and years, which is one of the ways that I really think about adding things to my wardrobe. I feel like AG Denim or AG Jeans is one of those brands that has kind of been a one to watch for me. I've been wanting to purchase a pair of their Farrah skinny jeans for so long, and they always pop up in the Nordstrom Anniversary Sale, so I think if you've also had your eye on a pair of them, now's probably a good chance to get them because I believe they're 40% off. I'm going to link them down in the description box below. I feel like they've got a couple of different pairs, but just a really classic jean. I believe they're supposed to be really stretchy as well, so very comfortable, and you can't really go wrong with a good pair of skinny jeans for the autumn winter season. I also wanted to mention a really beautiful skirt. I spotted one from Halogen which I thought was really stunning. It's very feminine, so it's got a full navy skirt. It's got this jacquard print all over it, which I thought made it feel a little bit more elevated and a bit more special, and it's part cotton, part polyester, so it is going to have a bit of weight to it, and I feel like that cotton mix is really going to make this more of a breathable one. Being a dark navy, I feel like you could wear this kind of colour all year round, because in the winter time you could throw on some tights and a pair of heels and that would kind of make it be a little bit more appropriate for the cold weather, but then in the summertime you kind of wear it with a little blouse, and maybe it could be a black blouse or a white one and then some pretty sandals, and you're kind of good to go. So I love things like that are really versatile, and this one just stood out to me as being one that would be a really great piece, especially if you kind of love that more, I guess, vintage inspired style. The last clothing item I want to mention is from Vince Camuto, and this is a brand I really love for their shoes. It's a black sleeveless sheath dress. So again, I really like this because it was one that you could wear now, but you can also wear later when it starts to cool down. It does come in a few different colors, but I'm always after the classic black just because I feel like it's the most versatile. Again, you can wear it with tights, no problem, but I think it's a good one to have as a layering piece as well. So you could wear it underneath the blazer, but then when it gets really cold, you could pair a little black skivvy or something like that underneath. So when I say skivvy, I mean a turtleneck, but you know, you can layer some sweaters or some knitwear underneath so that you've got a bit of extra warmth, and it'll carry you through those colder months as well. So it stood out to me for those reasons, and I also really like the fact that it has some detailing around the waist. I just feel like that would be quite figure flattering. Finally, I wanted to run through a few accessories favorites. The first are a pair of boots that I do have in my own wardrobe, just in a slightly different variation. They're from Stuart Weitzman, and they're the open the knee boots. Now these tend to pop up in the sale every single year. This year they've got them in a round toe style with what looks like a lot of tread to the bottom of them, and they've got a block heel, so I think that would make them really comfortable. The pair that I've got actually have a pointed toe and more of a skinny kitten style heel, and these are really comfortable 100%. I love the fact that they add some extra warmth to your legs as well, so that kind of makes them a practical choice. Obviously I wouldn't recommend wearing these when it is raining, but I did think I would mention those because it is an opportunity to snap up those boots at a really great price, because these will set you back a pretty penny full price. So yeah, I thought that was a really good one. I also spotted a pair of boots from Aquitalia, which I had on my wish list last year, just in a different color. So this year I think they come in black. I'm not sure what other options they have, maybe a burgundy or something like that, and I had originally spotted these on Lee from Stylebee, and I just thought that they would make a really good, almost I guess calf length boot, well, a mid-calf length boot, and these are weatherproof, so really good if you live somewhere where, you know, the weather is quite unpredictable and it might rain, because you can sort of be sure that while they do have that beautiful suede texture, they won't get ruined by a bit of wet weather. So I thought those were great, and again, just another really classic piece. Then I've got a couple of bag favorites. The first one is from Nordstrom's own brand. It's a really lovely mock croc leather shoulder bag. I like this because I feel like it can transition well from work to weekend, and again, I look for versatility in everything, whether that be my handbags, my shoes, or my wardrobe, and this just ticks so many boxes for me. One, it's got mock croc leather, which you may know I am absolutely obsessed with at the moment, and it really does seem to be quite on trend. I like the fact that it can be worn over your shoulder, and it seems to have a really nice drop to it, so you shouldn't have any issues if you're wearing this over a really big bulky coat, and it seems to be a really reasonable size as well. I'm not sure if you'd be able to fit a laptop in there, you just have to check the dimensions, but I thought that this was a really beautiful option and does come in a few colors. The final item I wanted to mention is from Longchamp, and is their Le Pliage expandable tote. Again, this is one of those items that tends to pop up every single year as part of the sale. This year it comes in classic black, navy, and also in fig, which is kind of like a really bright cranberry pink colored hue, but this is a really great option if you are looking for a lightweight bag that you can take with you traveling, because it is nylon and it just has the leather straps. Longchamp bags tend to be quite expensive. They do have the full leather bags as well, which I might actually link that down below too, just because I think those are a really nice option if you love the style but you want something that is going to be a little bit sturdier and a little bit hard wearing, as I know the nylon can wear over time. But yeah, I thought that was a really good one, and that was the last item that I wanted to mention. So those are all of my favorite picks from this year's Nordstrom Anniversary Sale. As I mentioned at the start of this video, I do have an entire blog post which features a whole bunch of other items that I really love and think would be worthwhile looking at if you kind of do have a few missing gaps in your closet. As always, don't buy anything if it is out of your budget or you're buying on credit, and only buy what you need. I think it's really important, even though it is a sale, to make sure that you are investing in items that you're going to be able to wear for years to come. That's it from me today. I will see you again soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.